Fellas, today's objective is to build a burner for a customer to burn tree stumps out of the ground. I'm going to be connecting it to this adjustable stand, and I don't want to have to set my oil jug up in the air. We need this thing to run with the fluid reservoir on the ground like that. So it's just as easy as can be. This thing will run like that, but not very good. I want at least a 50,000 watt flame at times. So I would also like to point out that I have never used this particular combustor design to burn synthetic waste oil. Burning synthetic waste oil is one of the hardest substances to burn, and without this nozzle it wouldn't be possible. Okay, we're going to be using the good old hydrogen torch here with the acetone infuser to do a little brazing. Going to be using some Staysil 5 with the flux they have. This is some great brazing rod. I'll leave a link in the description for this stuff. You guys get to see how it turns out with brass to steel, which is a very hard braze to pull off. It's easy to overheat the brass. You do have to heat the parts to incandescence. So let's check this out. But I never leave links of stuff that I don't endorse personally or use. I mean, that's part of my gig. I'm just sharing stuff that I use, and hopefully you can see for yourself whether or not it's something that will work for you. Acetone infused oxyhydrogen. Let's make this happen. Heat the base up there first. Yeah. Best to just wait for the metal to get red hot before you really start applying too much rod like I just did. Then I'm going to spread the braze around with the flame once I get a little bit of metal down. Keep that metal flowing. There it goes. Maybe a little dab right there. And there we have that. Beautiful. We're running at about 15 amps out of the wall to do that. 1600 watts. And there you have that. This is the acetone infuser. I definitely love this setup, man. It is a very powerful, very hot little torch. Great for small fabrication jobs like this. Check that alignment job out, man. You know how hard it is to do that? It is no joke, guys. Okay, let's try that one more time. Do one more shot of this stuff in action. It's kind of fascinating to watch. I don't know how this would react with propane alone. This hydrogen torch can also do something called propane gas modification, which is where I inject propane into the flame. And then sometimes once you get those beads down, you can use the heat to draw it where you want it to go. Not all the time. Making a liar out of me here. There it goes. Okay, 3.5 hours later, I think we're ready to roll here. Alright fellas, so here is one of many tree stumps. Some of these had chain link fence impregnated in them. And we're going to try and burn this one out today with this setup. Okay, we're 10 minutes in, about 10 minutes, 30 seconds. After an hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to call that done. So that was a fairly economical gig. I call that done. Don't got to worry about hitting that with the lawnmower anymore. You can see I started on this one last year. The burners I had the years previous are just way too inefficient to pull this off economically. I was burning gallons of oil and getting nowhere really. But to be able to do that in an hour and 15 minutes for stumps like this, that's going to be beautiful. They charge $75 to have these taken out. And I've got a lot of them. It's like a $1,000 tree stump removal job. But I'm going to do it with some free oil. So there you have it, fellas. This thing was literally a blazing success. To be able to take that stump out of the ground that fast, I could literally start a business right now competitively removing tree stumps with this thing. $75 minimum. And we did that in an hour and 15 minutes with some free oil and some electricity, of course. Believe we were right at 4.5 cubic foot per minute there at 50 psi's, and I am very pleased with this combustor. It's not cooled off yet. It is self-cleaning. There is a shell in there, a little bit of a spray on the front. Might need to aim the nozzle a little bit. A little bit of build up there after an hour, but can't wait to see this thing running at night. And we're going to burn one out later this evening. But man, dude, very happy with this combustor design. This thing does phenomenal. The wind doesn't phase it. The Dragon has problems with wind. It's not a wind resistant burner, but this is. So I'm glad it was really windy today. Alright guys, so here's the breakdown. We used this entire jug of oil and half of this jug. like 1.5 gallons there. I calculated 6 liters just by looking at memory. But yeah, very efficient. Last time it would have taken me like 4 gallons of freaking oil to do that. The burners just burned up way too much fuel. The combustion chambers were made out of things like propane bottles and propane tanks, like large tanks like that. Nozzle has pretty much outperformed any nozzle I've built to date. Its ability to siphon oil the way it does has definitely went beyond the abilities of all my other nozzles in the past. I have always had to use elevated fuel systems. Freaking awesome.